Give it a couple seconds to get through the pages. Maybe someone might jump in. All right. Olaram, Jate Tor, Balsukoi Garnervore. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 2 of Under the Helm, the Way of the Mandalore Religious Movement podcast. I am your host, Kadali Kabor, joined by co-host Untamed Mando, Solikan Adatika.
Golgar.
And we are going to be continuing Tenant 1, which is a Mandalorian should always remain armed. And my dumbass did not pull up the tenant before we started this. That's what I forgot to do.
We can't all be perfect. Can't
Yeah.
all be like me. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay, where does my... Okay, tenant, there it is. Put that on.
BT dubs, I am just kidding. I know I am not perfect.
So, Solikan, you'll be proud of me. I figured out how to get the tenant on my screen, but I have to take the cameras off to be able to do it. So I switched to tenant, read the tenant, take the tenant off.
Oh,
All
you
right.
learned how to do a thing. I'm so
Yes,
proud of
I learned to do the thing.
you.
Alright, Tenant 1. A Mandalorian must remain armed at all times unless alone. A Mandalorian must be armed with a firearm whenever physically possible. Out of respect for the rights of private property owners, such weapons should remain discreet or concealed whenever possible, unless their use is needed to protect innocent life or property. All weapons, including those not carried, have a spirit of their own. They walk with us and help to guard and protect us and the innocent. A Mandalorian must, to the best of their individual ability, never be forcefully disarmed. Now, talking about being alone means either the Mandalorian is physically alone or with members of his or her family, whether that's spouse, children, brothers, sisters, etc. The time to be alone means that it is their time at peace, not just proximity to other people. Note, what weapons are covered under the first tenant? In short, all of them. Firearms, axes, knives, swords, even vehicles. All are holy in our faith. All weapons become indwelt with a sacred spirit from the beginning of their manufacture. This extends to all ammunition, magazines, the clips, internal mechanisms, external modifications, etc. They are all held sacred within our religion and therefore holy artifacts of the faith. Now,
Ebik Rooney?
Ibik Runi, when we say have to be armed with a firearm, this is for legal purposes, not just defense purposes. I have recently found out, and no, I'm not a lawyer, need to put this disclaimer out there, that we are not giving legal advice. We are not giving legal defense or prosecution material. We are merely putting information out. So that being said, the reason it was written with firearms is because that is what we will most likely be defending in a court situation. We want to be able to I'm trying to word this right, where
All good. All good.
an example could be the court defense like, well, why couldn't you have just carried a knife? Why couldn't you carry something non-lethal? Simple fact, there's a possibility we could be going against someone that has a firearm. So we want to be able to defend against what we are going to be going against. We still want to believe in the rules of escalation, i.e., someone brings a knife, you don't want to bring a gun to a knife fight. Or, I'm sorry, you want to bring a gun to a knife fight, you don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight. more than likely, you're going to be carrying all of it. You're not going to bring a gun to a fist fight. That's overwhelming force. You're going to first fight it out with fists, then move up to the knife, then move up to the long range. You're not going to start out as like, oh, someone's running at me with their fists. I'm going to pull out my firearm. No. Only bring the firearm out if someone else is bringing the firearm out. What weapons are covered under the tenant? Like we said, all of them. Escalation of force. You start out with the knives and swords and axes, then you move into the firearms. Doesn't matter whether it's the sheik's ceremonial dagger. I can't remember what it's called right this second, but I know that's they have their ceremonial knife. The Scottish have their ceremonial knives. Here in America, we don't have any kind of ceremonial weapon.
Yet. Maybe one day.
Yet. Oh. Us keepers, we don't have a ceremonial weapon yet. So, our ceremonial weapon is everything we have access to. Oops, hit the wrong button on my keyboard. Apparently in all of my gesticulating. Oops, I need to take the tenant off and put my camera back on. Here we go.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah. I must undo the thing and put the other thing back up. But in all of my wild gesticulating with my hands, I hit the keyboard and the Windows button was hit.
Oh dear.
Oh my. Oh.
So my commentary on this,
Please.
I like making it abundantly clear. So if you are reading the tenet and you are reading the explanation of the tenet, when it asks what weapons are covered under the first tenet. So the first tenet reiterating Mandalorian must remain armed at all times unless alone. What weapons are covered? All of them. Now there has been some debate about whether like some historical weapons would be considered like they were originally like farm tools and then turned into weapons. I'm referring to some of the Japanese like weapons that we know of, like the sai, and then a couple I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but there's a couple of weapons that the Japanese, it used to be farm tools.
The
And then
kunai.
the kunai, yes, that
The
were
kunai is
converted.
essentially a trowel.
Yes. That were converted into weapons because reasons. I'm not going to go into all of the historical thing of that right now. There has been debate about whether or not those count because originally the intent was farm tools. Within modern society, those are those are considered weapons. Those are so according to the tenet, because we see them as weapons. Yes, maybe their original intent was not, but as of today in modernity, they are considered weapons. They fall under the tenet. So I
Right.
remember seeing a debate about that a while back of does this count as a weapon? Um and the other debate is does a pocket knife count? Because I use my pocket knife as both a tool and if needed
Right.
be, it was going to be used in self defense. So what would you say to that one? Because that one I'm not really sure on.
I would say that is a time of need situation. Because for the most part, yeah, a pocket knife is a tool.
Yeah,
But
what do you mean when you got your first tool?
What's that?
How old were you when you got your first tool?
I'm sorry, I
What?
something about
What?
first tool.
How old were you when you got your first tool, your first knife?
Oh.
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 I grew up in the deep south. I got my
Yeah.
first I would say I've had a pocket knife since I could walk. Like
Yeah.
whether
Now, when I
like
bought my own first one, okay, so my little bit of background on me, I was not born in the South. I was born on the West Coast. We
Ah.
moved to Tennessee back in the early 90s when the GM plant my parents worked and met at closed. So, Dad got a job with a company called Saturn, moved us out to their manufacturing plant in Spring Hill, Tennessee. And we lived there for 27 years. So I was born somewhere else, but I was raised in the South.
Okay.
So pocket knives and firearms were not a big thing in our family. I mean, we had air rifle. I think my dad I don't know when he got it, but we did have a 357 Magnum that he had for self for host for how yeah for home defense. Yeah, words are hard. I'm sorry. Uh, and mom is not one to like firearms. Period. Um, so we had a few pocket knives around the house, like Swiss Army knives. It wasn't until my brother and I started in the Boy Scouts that we really started using pocket knives and multi tools on a consistent basis. So, that being said, it was probably around middle school or high school that we got our own multi tools. Like, wasn't just a pocket knife, it was the screwdrivers, it was the pliers, it was the knife blade, the little scissors,
Sewing
and
all?
then. Sorry?
Sewing all?
One more time.
Sewing all.
Sewing all?
SEWING AWL, yes.
Okay.
not sure what that is.
On your knife? It's a little piece of
Oh,
metal with a hole at the
Oh,
point.
okay.
possibly. I don't remember what all was on those. I actually don't. Actually, I do have a multi tool still. Let's see what's on this.
Sewing all?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what a sewing all is. Let's see. I've got a fingernail file. I've got several different flat blade screwdrivers. I've got a really small precision Phillips knife blade, serrated blade, and the pliers. Surprising, no scissors on this one. I mean, that's what I get for not having a Gerber. So
I was kind of curious.
I know not having scissors on a multi tool. The hell, people. But I'd say it wasn't until late high school, so around 17 or 18 when I had my first job, that I had money to buy my own knife, my own call. Now firearm, I'd say that was when was that? Mid-20s, I'd say. It was right before I enlisted that I got my first firearm. It was a Sig Sauer 22.
Well, just from my own background up here in the Midwest, the Northwoods of Minnesota, um, I began my life on the res, and then later on the family moved to the cities. So when we did that, the rules changed. Before we were up in the wild woods, us kids were allowed to have knives to use as tools and to get ourselves out of trouble if we got into trouble with.
Right.
And once we went to the cities, though, they took our knives away so that we had no knives while we were in the cities. And then once we left the cities, they gave us back our knives again. Also, at the age of 14, they began teaching us firearms with the hunting rifle. That was at age 14.
And that should go. We need to put that disclaimer in. Is make sure you're following all local and federal ordinances as well.
Correct.
Well, on the reservations, they're different
Yeah,
than
no,
being in the cities.
I'm aware, and
Yeah.
that was just something I just thought. I was like, oh, I need to put that in there because firearm laws for me are going to be different than for you, just for that reservation fact,
Yeah.
and they're going to be much different than what Marlboro's and Dodrell and Katarn, because they're in Poland.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, I and my mom and my dad from Poland.
So we have a wide variety of people that listen in and join in on these. So we need to make sure that we're specific and we're all following local laws.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that when that's the way we were raised up, is how we see everybody else, in our immediate surroundings being, treated and raised up too, and then to go someplace else and see that the rules are different. That's quite
Right.
the culture shock. Quite
Mhm.
the culture shock. So like, oh, all of a sudden that, my little pocket knife, which is my handy dandy little tool, I'm not allowed to have it anymore because it has a blade on it.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the main thing that like with the tenant is there's an understanding that every place that you go is going to be different in regards to some sort of weapon in general. And weapon, all other things fall under the category of weapon. Like firearms, knives, maces,
Swords.
swords, blah 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 blah, all of those things. So when it says weapon, it has that understanding that it is all weapons. But because of the fact that most people have such a negative viewpoint of firearms specifically, we as keepers must make sure that we are extra vigilant and we are extra careful because of that stigmatism surrounding firearms. The reason why the tenant is worded the way it is because of legality purposes. Um, eh, that's just wanting to make sure that is the disclaimer here
Yeah.
is legality purposes we have to word things in a specific way, and if it sounds a little weird, that is probably why, um because of us having to word things in just such a way. um and someone had made a point a while ago, or let me see. Sorry. I'm pulling
Oh,
up my
good.
notes here. Haha, I have notes because I came prepared. Haha, F all of you.
I do not have
Um,
notes. I do not come prepared. I fly off the seat of my pants.
Sheb you all. Someone tried to make a point about so the idea of the saying the pen is mightier than the sword. So understand that is where this mindset or this idea came from, is from that statement. Some people have possibly thought about interpreting the being armed with also being ready with a response. Like if someone is verbally attacking you, making sure that you mentally are ready to, I guess, defend yourself
Right.
or attack someone Like be like keeping your mind sharp enough to where you can respond when someone is verbally attacking you, or de-escalation tactics as well. I think that that would also probably, like, it probably falls under the other tenant. I don't have the tenants up in front of me at the moment because I have my notes up, about just don't you be the person to start something, but be ready. So
Tenant
someone
3.
brought up that point.
Mandalorian must never be the one to initiate violence.
Correct. But with the being armed, it also, they were making the point of, it's also good to arm your mind with the tools necessary
Which, if I'm not
to,
mistaken, that's 5. Nope.
is that,
6. Sorry. I
it
get
does
them out
fall
of
under
order
6.
sometimes.
A lot of the tenants can flow into each other, but that was a
Yeah.
point that I was like, well, I mean, that technically can also fall here. Because what we want to do is, if someone is, the rules of escalation or de-escalation, like the rules of engagement, if they're verbally attacking you, verbally defend yourself.
Right, and
And
that's part
be
of that
ready.
escalation of force.
Mm-hmm.
If you're having a verbal fight with someone, you're not going to pull out a pocket knife.
Correct. Or you're not supposed to. People do,
Right.
but you're not supposed to.
But at the same time, you're also going to be trying to de-escalate. The goal is
Correct.
not to get to that point you're pulling out the firearms. The goal is to de-escalate and separate ways.
Correct. So that's the point that they were trying to make, and I felt like, yeah, I think that's a good point to make. I think we usually talk about it with the other tenant, but I mean, it can be talked about here too.
Right. I would argue that we could talk any topic with every tenant.
That is true. That is absolutely true. But also understanding that I think while I do, like I said, while I do agree, we should be ready verbally, I think the tenant itself is referring to practicality purposes more than a, I guess, what's this, like, more than like practicality versus like trying to read into it too much, if that makes sense, like trying to put something into the tenant that's not there.
Right.
Because someone also, like, I think some people with more of like I guess a Christian background would also interpret this in the section of the Bible that talks about like arming yourself with like not like physically arming yourself, but like spiritually arming yourself as well. I don't know if that would apply here, but
I
that was
just
also another
realized
point.
something. We're not on the clock app right now. We might be able to use terms that are otherwise not allowed.
I mean, Twitch
I
is
don't
a
know.
little bit more lenient with some of that stuff, but it's not that lenient. So I would
Okay,
rather
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I would rather stay with the more stricter guidelines mindset. That way,
Okay.
like, because just because Kando's not here doesn't mean eventually, like.
Yeah.
So I'd rather go with the stricter guidelines just for
Completely
purposes.
understand and can agree. I just a thought that entered my mind. I was like, oh, let's say this.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. I was like, yeah, you right.
Sorry to detract you there.
No,
as
you're
we
good.
were.
So what would you say to someone who maybe wants to try and interpret this as a more spiritual
Oh.
aspect as well? Because to me, I understand this as practicality. But I mean, I guess it could also be interpreted as more with a more spiritual mindset. but I feel like as men, like for us as keepers, we're more focused on practicality stuff.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, I haven't thought about the spirituality side of it yet. I need to. I'm going to now. But I don't have that ready on hand.
Right. But it was something to consider. I hadn't considered it either until it was
Right.
brought up. I was like,
And
wait
I'm a
second.
very practical person.
But maybe people coming from different backgrounds, like that is, it's something to consider. Like, would Tenet 1 fall under that category of like, remain armed at all times? Does that also include like spiritually? What would
Yes.
that look like? That's the
Easy answer is yes. But I don't have the words to express it.
Right.
Now, we can talk about the weapons being indwelt with the sacred spirit from the time of their manufacture. That does not mean our weapons are Jesus.
Right.
They are holy
that-
artifacts, i.e., the Holy Grail, what is it, the Spear of Solomon?
Spirit of Longinus?
I'm sorry?
The Spirit of Longinus?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Now, albeit that's a weapon too.
A highly symbolic weapon, though.
Yeah.
True. I'm trying to think of other holy artifacts. Help me out, please. Because right now I'm drawing a blank.
The holy hand grenade.
Yes, the holy hand grenade of
no.
Tartarus.
No.
I know. I'm just teasing.
Gloria in Spiritus Sancti.
Tis
For
but
any
a
of
flesh
you watching
wound.
This later, we are referring to Monty Python, and if you have not watched Monty Python, I think you should.
We are the knights who formerly said "nee."
Sorry, I got us off track, but I was like,
Yes, you
I couldn't think of
did.
anything. I couldn't think of anything except for the holy hand grenade. I was like,
Okay, hold on. Easy fix to this. Google.
right? The Google. Oh goodness. But yeah. That's what we mean. So while you're looking that up, the other thing that I guess I probably need to do more thought on it. So we brought up the point that of a pocket knife, that it's a tool and a weapon. So but
Okay,
it was not
so
a weapon at the Go ahead.
I'm assuming this is the what people refer to as the armor of God, so to speak. This is Christian holy relics or sacred objects. You have the Shroud of Turin, the Crown of Thorns, the True Cross fragments, the Holy Grail, and the Holy Lance. You have saintly bones, clothing, the vestments, I guess. Let's see.
Is the Shroud of Turin in there?
It is. That was actually the first thing I said. It's a linen cloth bearing the image of a crucified man, believed by many to be Jesus. Let's
Isn't
see.
that still giving up secrets?
I'm sorry?
Isn't that still giving up secrets? Seems like just
Right.
last year they came with some new info.
This is just what Google has on hand. I'm not. Let's see. We've got the relics of saints and Mary. You have, and it's used quotations, incorrupt bodies. which are undecayed bodies of saints, i.e., Saint Catherine of Siena, blood of Saint sorry, I can't pronounce that. Saint Januarius, which is a miraculous liquefying blood. And I don't know. John the Baptist's head. Must have been one of the
Yeah.
darker periods of Christianity on that one. And apparently they even have categories for relics. First, second, and third class. Apparently first class is the physical remains, or items directly from the life or passion, which is, i.e., the cross, the crown. Second class category is items worn by the saint, whether the clothing or gloves. And third class, which is an object touched to a first or second relic. Interesting.
Hmm.
We Mandalorians do not have that yet.
Yet.
No. See, the concept of the Mandalorian is about the armor. The armor we acquire, we improve over time, and we either use up and bury sometimes, or we give it away, or we cast it back into molten metal
Right.
and recast it.
Reforge it or pass it down.
Yeah. That is our sacred objects. It's the armor
Right.
itself. What is metal?
Our
For plastic armor,
firearms, our
plastic armor,
knives, our swords, our
um,
armor, those are our holy relic.
yeah. Personally, I'm very how do I say this? My favorite is the Heart of Beskar,
Right.
the Karta, the Karta.
The
When you
Karota
got your Karta,
Beskar.
you got your first piece, and essentially your last piece.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so a little bit of language lesson here. I found out it's not pronounced Karta Beskar. It's Karota Beskar. The R apostrophe T apparently has a rota pronunciation to it.
Well, the Beitan is supposed to be a breath, so it's like car, a breath, and then ta.
Interesting.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I did know that, but like, for some reason, my brain is like, I know these
And-
things, and then I'm like, I forget these things, and then I'm like, oh,
I
that's a
just
new
know
thing.
off of the pronunciation on the PDF. I apologize if I'm getting that wrong.
Well, no. What's happening, and this is to be expected, is that we are forming regional dialects. Like the way I speak Mandalorian, it's gonna be different here in Minnesota than someone who does it in Norway.
True. And
Right.
I also know at least a little bit of pronunciation because of the Vodeon song, which, fun fact, is on Spotify and it's also on Pandora. And that's how they have pronounced it as it's Kondosi Sakaro Tavodeon.
Cool. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Some people seem to forget that Vodeon, that's two words, that one.
Mm-hmm.
What I really want to learn to sing is the Da Werda Veda,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have enough people to beat up around me.
But yeah, so just kind of going back, like, we understand that not everyone has access to
Right.
firearms. and we are not limiting someone carrying a weapon to only firearms, because that for some reason is a big misconception. Like, you we no one is saying you have to have a firearm. It's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, I mean, that's preferred, sure. Like most, especially us
Hush.
Americans, we believe that firearms are the best like self-defense item. That's our opinion. Obviously, not everyone has that opinion.
Not
So
even
that
every
is
American has that opinion.
correct. So that is why our like a lot of us like our we prefer firearms, and just talking about firearms, and that's just because that's the preferred weapon. But that does not mean that there is a lack of understanding that not everyone has access to firearms.
Right.
Two, not everyone believes firearms are the best for self-defense. And also we also understand there is a negative stigma surrounding them. And so sometimes, like, it's people are just not comfortable, and that's okay.
Ver-
That's fine.
Hey, we don't need your opinion.
Papa.
People can walk
Anyways,
up and down those steps.
the concept of the firearm is supposed to be one of yes, it is a right that we have enshrined in our laws, and it's very difficult to for some people to contend with that, because for them it's an inconvenient right.
Yeah.
And anyways, I digress. The those of us who hold on to our right, like the right to bear arms, we have to how do I say this? We if we're law abiding, we have to emphasize the fact that we are law abiding. That
Right.
owning a firearm does not make us criminals.
Correct.
And
Just,
But
just
also
because
but also
criminals just because criminals use them doesn't mean we're criminal.
yeah,
right.
and that's my biggest takeaway from everything. And I'm trying to keep this non-political, as information based as possible, because we need to put that disclaimer in there. This is not the views of the keepers of the way itself. These are individual.
Correct.
Individual keepers, yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So I
Because
just want
not all keepers are the same everywhere.
right.
Correct.
How do I say this? We have a common goal or a common religion, but it's still the type of thing where we're in the process of maturing as we go along.
Right. And trust me, there is no such thing as a law-abiding criminal.
Yeah. I mean, if
It's
you're a criminal, law abiding, you ain't.
right.
right.
And
Well, like,
I just need to put that disclaimer in there so that we can talk about it, and hopefully anybody that listens in will realize, oh, okay, they're talking personal opinions. This is not
yes.
the mouthpiece of the religion.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're just Mandalorians talking.
Yes. But also make sure, please, 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 understand we are also not trying to tell people how to get around laws. That is
Yes.
not the point. If we suggest an idea of, like, maybe in so and so's country you can't carry X thing, and we give an idea of what they could carry, that is not us trying to get that person around the law.
No.
That is us coming up with ideas to help them stay within the tenet, but also be law abiding.
I mean, a pen could be a
citizens.
weapon.
It could be, yes, but I
A,
think that's where we need
a
to figure out
mail
the tenet.
opener can be a weapon. An ice pick can be a weapon. These are weapons of convenience.
Right.
We are talking about weapons that are weapons, tools that are weapons.
Right. And I think we also need to probably
Hey,
wrestle more with the
Dodrol.
we need to wrestle more with the idea of like, so if it's a tool that we're utilizing as a weapon, does a weapon spirit indwell in it in that moment to make it a weapon? Or are
Or is it
tools
just
also
something that
just
was in
weapons?
within reach and you're using it to defend yourself?
Right, because the tenant is a little vague on that aspect of it. I will admit for sure there, because like with something like going back to the pocket knife thing, the intent when the pocket knife was made to be a tool, but it can also be utilized as a self defense weapon.
This is my opinion, is that if it was originally if it's a tool of convenience, if it's a weapon of convenience, it does not have its own spirit. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's kind of my understanding as
The
well.
the what I believe what I believe have their own spirits are tools, weapons that we use as a weapon. Whether it's a fixed blade knife, whether it's a firearm, because obviously all of those are weapons, they have their own spirit. A folding pocket knife, me personally, I would consider that a weapon of convenience. Not
Well,
like its fixed
uh,
blade variety.
for me, it's more like when you use it often in that regard. Like even if it's you know, for others it's a tool, but if
Right.
for you it's a weapon.
Now for Dodrol, Marlboros, Zolicon, and Julia, your pocket knives could have their own spirits. And even to an extent, mine could. Is it something that, and again, this is my opinion. Everyone is welcome to their own opinion and what they believe in their
Mhm.
firearms and knives and everything. Is what you have, does it have a spirit? Does my multi tool have a spirit indwelt in it? Possibly. I would argue that it's more of a. I'm gonna try to word this right. It's more of a guarantee, and if that comes off rubbing someone the wrong way, I'm sorry. It's my opinion that folding blades that we use as a tool primarily would be a weapon of convenience. Whereas a fixed blade is not a weapon of convenience.
O, dziękuję.
That has a design for something else.
Chyba się bałam złapać, żeby nie upuścić. Sorry.
It's all good. Jate? um so Dodger, I don't know if like you're aware, we're talking about Tenet 1.
I know.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure you were up to date on what we were
Well,
discussing.
it's first month of the year. We obviously we are
Right.
talking about Tenet
The
1.
the layout is pretty standard now.
Trying to be helpful, okay? Because sometimes
Thank
I
you,
get
Zolocan.
confused.
Bad Solicon.
Okay. Dobra.
Hey, we just got lucky that there's 12 tenants. There's not 13 or 14 or 11.
know,
There's
right?
12. We got lucky on that one. It just happens the format works.
Okay.
Right. Oh goodness. But also, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I only wanted to say that for me personally,
Gregard Katarn.
I understand that it's like maybe like a little bit like in Japanese folk tales and mythology that the object gains spirit over time. When it's made, it do not have a spirit, but it's gain it over time with
Right.
use.
And that would be a
Because
good way of
if
thinking
you
of
have a blade,
the
even
tool
if
of
you have
convenience,
a
that where you use it more often for the weapon side, it starts getting that spirit indwelt in it.
and
Right.
for
You
me,
you
if even if
you
you have a
essentially,
blade
sorry.
like sword, which will be a proper weapon, but it's not used as one, it's only a decoration on your wall, it will not have a spirit, at least
Okay.
not like that.
Right. Now, if you happen to take that out and go deer hunting with it, once
Well,
it tastes the flesh of your
Native Americans,
enemies.
My God.
in the case of Native Americans, we do believe that everything does have a spirit. Wood, stone, feather, bone. Everything has spirit. But what kind of spirit that is, uh, um, is rather complex. As in like, how do I say this properly? When we take a stone just has a stone spirit. If we shape that stone, make it into a tool, then the spirit of the stone changes as we change it. And all of a sudden,
Oh,
what was a stone spirit has become a tool spirit. See?
oh, it's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And the more we use it as a tool, the more spirit it gains as that. And then should day come when it breaks and is no longer useful as a tool, and we bury it, the stone returns. Stone spirit returns to the stone, as as it gets quite clean.
Right.
So
Interesting.
yeah. So we can take a spirit of whatever, and when we shape it, um, it takes on the aspects that we give it. Like I could take a tree branch that just has a spirit of wood. If I make it into a bow, then it takes on a tool and a weapon type spirit. And as long as I'm using it as a tool or a weapon, it has that spirit. Then when it no longer serves that function, the spirit returns back to the wood as a wood spirit.
That's cool. I didn't realize
Right.
that.
And I've never thought about passive spirit that changes
Yeah,
on
because
usage.
well, well, look upon your own self. When we give birth to children and we raise them up, the child's gonna be what it's going to be. Not every child's going to be a warrior. Not every
True.
child's going to be a farmer. Not every child's going to be, a holy person. But
Some of them might be lawyers.
child, yeah, the child grows in the way that that they seek. All I can do is give the child, food and love and protection and encouragement. Love that spirit. That's the way I am with my things. It's kind of like my weapons or my armor. I am I appreciate what they do. I love them in a way, and they in turn they do their function. They protect or whatever. Where the armor protects, the tool provides usefulness, the weapon is useful. All those things they provide me. I provide for them. And when the time comes when the tool or the armor no longer serves its function, then I restore it back to its original uh, origin, and the spirit returns back to its original spirit. It also returns back to origin.
Okay.
Hmm.
Different people, different thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Take for example the fact that I have a hunting rifle. It's for hunting deer. Um, that's the only function it has. It does not defend the house.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All it
there's a
does is
difference between using a 308 to defend a house or a 12 gauge.
Right.
anyways, I also have what I call my memorial rifle. I bought the rifle in a memorial for my older brother. It's a it's a rifle that its only purpose is to remind me of my older brother. It doesn't serve no function whatsoever other than that. It's like a relic of him, as it were. I
Right.
look upon that rifle and I think about my older brother. That's the only function it serves. It's not a tool. It's not a weapon. It's a memento, as it were. So it has that spirit. And when I'm gone and I'm dead, it will pass on to someone else and take on some other aspect. I mean, if I give it down to my nephew, I don't know what he'll do with it.
Right.
But I'll pass it on with the after telling that, I got this in memento of your father. So he will then decide if he wants to like put it on the wall and keep it there, or if he wants to make use of it, because it too is just a deer rifle. That's all it is.
Excuse me.
But yeah, the spirit that dwells in it is the spirit that I help shaped put into on the ways that I use it and appreciate it and view it. Not everything that I have is going to stay with me. What I have is going to go on to others, and
Right.
they're going to have their influence upon it.
Oh, excuse me.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
I do not have anything like that yet.
Yeah. Now I'm just like, well, that's amazing. This is cool. Okay. Way to be super awesome and
Right.
blow us all out of the water.
Well, I kind of think I have a little bit of leeway over you guys. Comes to years lived.
Yeah, probably. That could be a good argument.
How long have we been going for, Kadali?
Almost an hour, actually.
Sorry we came so late, but
No, you're
Yeah,
No
fine.
worries. No worries. I was just trying to figure out like how much longer we had and who all has any, I guess, final thoughts. I guess.
Now, it's a good wrapping point. I mean, we're at 52 minutes, so we can either keep going for another few minutes or wrap it up. It's
Well, how do you want to wrap it up?
I don't know.
with Christmas paper and a bow.
Oh my god. No, well, no, like who all does anyone else have any like I guess comments like about the tenant? Thoughts, questions, concerns. Let us know if you have concerns. Aha. Cause we're all Vode here. We can discuss concerns with things. Yes. We can be adults.
I would argue that there are some that don't.
They are
Shush.
don't adults,
Yeah.
or they are not able to become adults. That's a difference. Because if someone is not adult yet, it may become one or not.
No, I'm
Maybe.
sorry. That was more of an inside joke.
Well, yes. Well, so the inside joke is there are people in general out in the world who are in adult bodies but are not adults. You've seen
Yeah.
them at your local grocery store when they throw fits because they can't find the bread and the bread is empty.
Because we're in 3 to 5 inches of
Okay.
ice and snow, and we don't know how to
Exactly.
drive in it.
Exactly.
I thought you were talking about me because I act childish.
Well, obviously.
And
You
but
are
in Poland
also-
we are like
Watch out, everybody! I'm
in
swinging
Poland,
left.
we are like oh well, I had to shovel my car.
Well, aren't you just hunky dory? Okay. Not all of us.
My
are used
car
to
is snowed
snow,
in, and I don't
okay?
plan on going anywhere until it melts.
Right.
Because I live in the North
It's-
Mississippi, and I don't want to risk my car getting destroyed by someone else who doesn't know how to drive in the snow.
Right.
Can I drive in it
At least here,
decently? Can other
Christ,
people in the
here.
area? No.
at least here people use winter tires or at least all season tires.
And I've at least got all season on mine.
But
You
to
kidding
be
me?
fair,
I have winter.
The American wage system, I don't make enough money to have 2 different sets of tires, one for winter, one for summer. I just take the
Well,
medium road and get all season.
I
Yeah, but-
saw how fucked you up by the weather.
Oh yeah, you saw the pictures I posted in general or in
Yeah.
Cantina.
Yeah, but
Also, I saw the images from the satellites.
Oh
How
yeah,
it
I
was
posted my personal view from my doorway.
but to be honest, I have set for pretty decent winter tires for less than 200 calculating into dollars.
Oh yeah, if I still have to get another set. I'd still have to get my front tires replaced. I think they're still good, but they're starting to get a little low. And I think it's gonna cost me about $400 or $500
Oh yeah,
for
but
both.
because you have very big wheels.
I mean, I do have an SUV, so
Yeah.
You
All
know,
right. Is there any final thoughts about the Tenant?
I believe
Tenant
I'm good
1
for this episode
main
at least.
armed? No. Speak now, or forever hold your peace.
Get your damn get out of my damn brain. I was about to say that. You do not want to be there. It is not a very friendly place.
I mean,
Yes, I know. I'm a child. I'm a child in an adult's body, and I shouldn't have been given the rank of an adult.
I'm a child with a drinking permit.
First, I'm still shaking my head over the holy hand grenade.
Yeah. Look. The holy hand grenade is amazing.
All right. That being said, let's wrap it up. That's a wrap. Oh,
Crap.
we appreciate anyone who came in. I don't know if we had anybody on the streaming side, but if y'all were there, we appreciate you. If you would like to find out more about the Way of the Mandalore or possibly join the podcast while we record, we do have our own Discord, which that is where we record and post these two. If you're joining on the edited side, we appreciate everyone there as well. I will give credit to the Battle Dwarf. She has done a really great job on getting caught up in the last 2
Yes.
months.
I've only got like 5 more to go.
All right. Plus 2 more for the new season.
I know, right?
You're already
The
starting to get
7.
behind.
So many. I mean, it'll happen.
I have been getting so many emails from Spotify. Your episode has processed. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So go check out the Spotify. We have new episodes available. We're actually closer to caught up than we were this time last year. Oh. She has been doing great work. Thank you, Solicon, very much.
You're welcome. It is a pleasure. I do enjoy the podcast and all the things regarding the podcast.
I bet you do.
It's wonderful and amazing.
I have been your host, Kadali Kabor. Look forward to seeing everyone on the next one in 2 weeks. Ebik Rooney. Don't forget about our social media links.